Year is often a time to take stock of habits and working to improve them, and everyone knows that the 3 keys to health are, of course, good diet, exercise, and getting enough sleep. And sleep is so important, as we all know. It's becoming more and more important that we understand how it actually affects you. So Kowalski's registered dietitian, Sue Moores, is here. She always has so much to talk about, but this is so important. We're talking about circadian rhythms and how to improve it with food. So let's talk about this study that you are really excited about.
Yeah, there was a study that was around how do you wake up energized and how do you wake up alert and ready to go through the rest of the day with energy and refreshed. And it said there were 3 things, and it was to sleep enough, long enough, and that's 7+ hours. And there was a whole conversation about what's in our lives that's so disruptive to our sleep. That was, not that it's a big surprise, but really when you start to go, oh, you go, yeah, no wonder I'm not sleeping so well. Second was physical activity, and the interesting piece of that is that when you're physically active, let's say you exercise on Tuesday, the benefits for refreshing and alerting and energy happens on Wednesday.
So interesting.
So bubbles over. And then the last was breakfast and the power of breakfast and the problem if we skip breakfast or don't eat a breakfast that is going to nourish us. And so there's sort of 3 ingredients to a great breakfast, and it needs to be high in fiber, rich carbohydrates, because glucose is the energy source for our brains, the preferred source of energy. It needs to have some protein, and then it needs to have some foods that are rich in what we call shortfall nutrients, that is vitamin D, calcium, fiber, and potassium.
That's a lot of information,
yes,
but we're gonna lay it out. And you also said something interesting that's you said, and if you can put the coffee off a little bit and actually have the food first, it does help, because the coffee raises your cortisol levels, and the cortisol levels are already rising. So let's talk about one thing to do this. This is a way to do this right here, right?
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing is that diet is literally, and this is where we're learning so much more, is about circadian rhythm. That diet will sync up with your circadian rhythm. So if you don't eat in the morning, your circadian rhythm gets misaligned and disrupted. It's a whole other level of research.
Yeah, because then at night, even if you try, you're not going to be able to sleep, and then you don't want to take a sleep aid. Let's try to avoid that. Let's make it natural, right?
Yeah, and what we found out is that if your circadian rhythm is messed up, it will ripple out into all sorts of parts of your body and your metabolic processes, and so you end up with just everything affecting everything. So breakfast needs to have these elements.
So fruits. We've got some granola in here. What's this, the dressing that goes on that?
Well, this is a yogurt dressing, and so it's just yogurt, and the recipes for all of these are on here. The key is that if you can put in play, and it doesn't have to be a lot, things that have the fiber-rich carbohydrates, which can be overnight oatmeal, it can be granola, it can be whole grain bread, and then put the protein on there.
And your point is it doesn't need to be hard. So here's a bunch of things where it's not hard. It's pretty darn easy. You shared this recipe with us, these little guys?
Yeah, little snack bars. If you partner that with a glass of milk, you've checked all the boxes. You've got the protein, you've got the fiber-rich carbohydrates, and you've got those great nutrients.
Right? Jackie makes these?
I've almost eaten everything you gave me.
I know, it's so good.
No, literally, it's gone.
So good. I love the cottage cheese. I've been doing that way more.
Do you whip it up?
No, but
this
that's
is
what I
what
should
you do is you whip it up, and then it's a great sub out for peanut butter or for sure cream cheese, because it's got the protein, it's got vitamin D, it's got calcium, it's got potassium, and it's just a great way. Just put it on toast, go savory or sweet.
Is this in your catalog, the Kowalski's catalog?
Actually, the next issue of the magazine will be about breakfast.
Magazine. Okay, good.
But if you start paying attention to the term chrononutrition, that is where everything is going, because it's going to become so much more personalized in terms of what we can do.
Go to Sue. She's the resource. Go to Kowalski's. They got it all. All the information is on KARE11.com. We have a QR code. It's on your screen. There it is. We'll be right back.